Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to feature the Behringer Digital Delay DD400. It's just a standard sort of digital delay pedal, not unlike the DD2, DD3 from Boss. It's got a maximum delay time of 1300 milliseconds, 1.3 seconds. And like the Boss, it's got a hold function as well. The way this one works is that you just set it to either of the zones and then you're in, say, if you want 1300 or up to 1300 between, I think it's between 500 milliseconds and 1300, and you have it there. Between 200 and 500 milliseconds there. And then from the smallest amount, which is, I don't know, I need to check, but I think it's going to be about 20 milliseconds. And then these all do the same, and I'll go into these various functions in a minute, but I've wired this up in stereo. I'm going to start with the hold function, but before that, I am using, at the moment, I'm using a USA Telecaster, so single coil pickups. Mogami cable going into the digital delay, out in stereo to a Walrus Audio ACS1. When it's on green, it's Marshall. When it's on blue, it's Vox AC30. And when it's on Fender, it's red. Got a lead problem here. Going into the canvas stereo, which is basically just a line driver. And then that's going out to the recorder. Clean tone. It's on Fender at the moment. But if I want to switch it to Marshall, or Vox, and then of course I might mess about with the tone, I'm not sure. Stop it sounding too toppy. But I'm going to stick to a kind of front neck pickup type tone for most of this demonstration. Okay, so if I set everything to noon, we'll just quickly have a look at the hold function, which is basically hit something, hit a note, and then you can play over the top of it. To stop it, just hit the pedal again. Depending how much time you hold this down for, you'll get different sounds. So if I try and hold it the shortest amount of time possible, so from there you can adjust the volume. Now the volume is such that when you get to 12 noon, it's maximum delay, but then it'll cut out the dry sound. Go the other way, and of course you've got dry and a little bit of echo. So it's just from minimum to 12 noon is where the pedal is operating with your standard sort of echo volume, and then it goes, so it's going little bit of echo, max, and then it's going further towards echo and less dry until you end up there, which is completely a wet signal. So that's one way of using this pedal. You can use now from there we could go to see what the actual pedal does. So for the moment I'll keep it at noon, and then we'll just hear the shortest delay setting, almost imperceivable. Now you can hear that the dry is central, but the echo's only coming out left side. The dry is mono and the echo is coming out the other side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the dry is mono and the echo is coming out one side. It's a bit of a confusing sign on this, because you'd assume that in stereo mode the dry, it'd be dry that side and echo that side like the Boss, but the Boss DD2 or the DD3. But in this instance, I'm pretty sure that the dry sound is coming out mono. Yeah. So if you want that kind of tight sound, a bit like you hear in George Harrison in that track uses a really short echo. Hope I don't get a copyright strike for that. So that's one way of using it, to have just a bit of echo and use that just as a sort of widener. So I go on the bridge pickup. You know, do all your rock and roll or whatever you want to do with that. So quite useful for that sort of thing. Moving to another setting, the longer, up to 500. So there you can hear a definite repeat, and then the third one's just ghosting. So about 7 repeats there. It's about 9 repeats. 15 repeats roughly. (26, 27 repeats). So it's a really typical kind of so you can use it for kind of ambient purposes. I mean, you can always use these as if they're not there. So it's providing a bit of atmosphere. And yet it's just a little bit out of the way. So it being a digital delay, you'd think it would be, you know, they're usually quite bright. But there are ways of using them. You just use them very subtly. So they provide some, you know, background ambience. So I guess you can use it in the Fripp-tronics kind of. I mean, it's a single delay, but it's going to go on for ages. Now there's another trick up its sleeve, because there's the S settings, and S apparently is for stereo. So the pedal will be now behaving in a different way. So let's see what it does. So the delay now is spread across left and right. Make it a little bit more subtle to see what. So it sounds like the delay now is in stereo. It sounds like it's been stereoized. So to me it sounds like the main signal is in the middle, and the delay, it sounds like it's left and right, but it sounds stereoized. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of modulation going on. I'm not entirely sure. Let's turn the echoes up and see if we can hear any modulation. I think there is a little bit of modulation though. So it does pretty much what a lot of delay pedals used to do in the early days, before you had all the options like the Line 6 DL4 and the TC electronic flashback, where you had all the extra functions and sounds. On this you get one delay sound, and it's a basic delay. I bought this used. I think I paid less than £20 for it. So for a little delay pedal that you're not too bothered about, it could have beer spilled down it, you wouldn't really cry about it, I don't think. It's a usable pedal. Would I recommend it? Well, I mean, there are better delays out there now, but for a little cheap delay, it can't be any worse than any of the other cheap delays that are out there. And if you like the sounds and you just want a simple type of delay, I can't see it really harming. And in this you've got the split output option, so you've got mono and stereo, so you've got a little bit of functionality there built in, certainly more than the early Boss DD2, DD3 type things. So as far as that goes, obviously the DD5 and the other ones, the DD6, DD7, had more functions. So for a little basic delay pedal, you know, it just comes down to whether you like the tone of the repeats, and if you find them a bit grainy or you don't like the processing. But I kind of think the old digital processors have a signature sound, and it's the degradation of sound that you may not be able to get in the future. You know, you might have to get that degradation in another manner rather than these old chips that are in here. They have their own sound, and maybe one day people might return to this and enjoy the sound of it. I think for a degraded kind of echo sound, a slightly degraded digital sound, there are places for it. And certainly for the money, at the moment, at today's prices in 2025 that is, these are still pretty cheap. You'll pick these up, certainly in English money, £30. Would I recommend it? Well, I would recommend it for someone who just needs a simple echo and they want a very basic background echo. This does that. It's almost like you don't know it's there. Are there better pedals for it? Well, maybe. But anyway, I think it's a usable pedal and you could do worse. So it's not a glowing report, but I don't dislike it. I'm quite pleasantly surprised at that stereo effect. So anyway, I hope that's helpful, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.